I hope so. Because usually in my spaces, I ask lots of questions to others, and I hardly get asked about
Mm.
myself, and I hardly get chance to talk about myself. Part of my flaw as well, part of um, my fault that I don't do much interview spaces. But Mazi and Endemic, thank you for inviting me up, and thank you for the idea of having a space dedicated to just my journey. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, because uh, we like introducing artists to other communities. And what I noticed since I've been on, a couple of your spaces, it is always about others, and you don't get to say much about yourself. And I'm sure that you have something to say, and I'm sure that a lot of people will get to learn from this space. It is a recorded space, so people could watch it some other time if they are working right now or whatever and they couldn't join. What I would appreciate for everyone here is to repost the room, of course. If you have some questions that you would like me to ask Ishika, you can put it in the comments, and I will definitely get to them. uh, and yeah, just make sure to repost the room, because that way we'll have more people here. And I'm personally super excited about this, because I think Ishika is doing an amazing job with her spaces, which last for hours and hours. I always try to be there on like from the beginning to the end, but I'm always jumping in and out. Last time I ran from my garage to the apartment, and since I'm in shitty condition, I was so like out of breath that I couldn't speak, so I had to calm myself down for a couple of minutes. But that's how bad I wanted to say something in Nishika's space. So make sure that you follow her, and I think she hosts every Monday, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, she will now, on this space, she will speak about her journey, her struggles, her whatever she wants to share with us, and I'm sure that it will be helpful to a lot of artists. So Ishika, I mean, I know you for some time, but I don't know nothing about you. So do you want to share a bit about yourself, about your art journey, about your personal journey, whatever you want to share that you think is applicable here?
I love that, Mazi. Many friends actually came up to me saying, I have known you for years, but how much do I really know you? Yes, because I haven't spoken much, maybe. Um, So my journey is a little bit funny in a sense that it was not planned. I never planned to be an artist. It happened um, due to life and due to some personal trauma, and sometimes I always wondered exactly when did art came to me, and I could never find the answer, Mazi. I was always painting since childhood, but seriously, since high school, like I wondered how does color works, like different colors. If you see my works, I'm abstract artist, I do only abstract. So colors play a huge role in my brain, in my personality, and in my day-to-day life as well. I always notice colors first. Whatever you show me, my brain will jump onto the color first and then the rest. So I was doodling, I was making silly art that my parents were happy about, but not the rest of the world. And I shared this story before. I was badly bullied in high school for my art because no one really understood what I was doing because I was just mixing and mix match different color, pattern, blocks, but never a figure, never a flower, never something that you can resonate with instantly. You know, because with abstract, you have to really go deeper. It's all about expression and emotions. So, high school, my friends, classmates, they used to laugh at me like, do you really call them art? A 5 year old can do that. And I stopped sharing to people who didn't understand me or my art. So I stopped sharing there. And I thought maybe one day someone will understand me. I was waiting for that time. And growing up, then came university, then came job, then came changing location, um, leaving my home and flying thousands of miles away for higher studies, starting family. Again, getting very back busy with my teaching job. I was a school teacher before, primary school teacher. So I was I won't say that I didn't enjoy that part of the story. I was enjoying teaching. I love kids. But the paperwork was too much and tiring, but it's okay. I was going along, but something was missing. At the end of the day, when I was very tired and I felt a bit homeless, you know, like I had everything still, there was something missing. There was a big void, and I was trying to figure out what's missing here. Why do I feel homeless? I have a lovely home, right? And then I think it was the art that was missing that time, Mazi. I wanted to write poetry, I wanted to create more art, but life was too busy. And do you know what happened then? COVID happened. And suddenly I had to leave my job because I was homeschooling my daughter. She was tiny and she was ill. And I decided, no, I'm not sending her to school. I will homeschool her until her health situation is better. And this is COVID time. Come on, I don't want to risk it because with her health issues. I didn't want to risk it. So I homeschooled her for 1.5 year. And that time I had to be jobless. I didn't have any other options. I had to stay home. And and that was the time, Mazi, something magical happened. I started going back to my canvas. I started going back to my acrylics. And I wondered, what if during this time I make art, a lot of art? And I was suddenly feeling happy. And, you know, I was going through a lot of changes that time, personal life, financial crisis, I would say. But I thought, okay, when I'm painting, I'm really happy. This is something that works magic within me. I'm homeless without my art. That's the reason I was feeling the void. So I started making a lot of art during COVID time. And now, what do you do with them? I'm sitting with a lot of work. I don't know where to share. The local galleries are closed. Most of the shops, like in the UK, in London, during COVID time, actually it was really bad. And no one was going out or nothing. How do you show your art to people? And I was wondering, and at one point I thought, Instagram, why don't I go and join Instagram and start sharing my art there? So I opened my, I had the very old account on Instagram. I wasn't using for any purpose. So I kind of reset the old account and made it my art account, and I started sharing. So I remember the first day I had like maybe 3 followers, and I shared my art, maybe one like. But that one like was something. Muzzy, I was like jumping. I was telling my daughter, look, come here. We got one like. And she was like, yes, mom. Next time we'll get three. So it was like a game. And even my Instagram handle was funny. I didn't use my name there because I think it's the past trauma from being bullied with my art. I was not sure if putting my real name up there would bring more trouble or more bullies. So my daughter said, Mom, I love rainbows and I like fireflies. My daughter loves rainbows. So we mixed up together rainbows and fireflies. That was my Instagram handle when I started my art sharing online. And a month passed. Suddenly, that three follower became like 500 follower or something, and the three likes became 300 likes. I'm like, there are people who resonate with my colors, who think I'm not a mad person just messing up with colors, and they also believe that not it's nothing like a 5-year-old can do that. It needs wisdom, it needs different sort of wit to make abstract. They believe in me, come on. These people are with me in this journey. So my journey started from there, Mazi. My Instagram came first, so slowly I started growing more community wise, because there is a huge traditional artist community there before NFTs. This is 2020, I'm talking about COVID time. And at that point, my sister was like, have you decided anything about Twitter? Maybe you can also share there. I wasn't sure, but I came to Twitter. I left after a few weeks because before NFTs, Twitter was absolutely different, Mazi. It was boring. Let me be honest. So I kind of left Twitter. I mean, I didn't deactivate, but I just stopped using. And then one day on Instagram, a friend said, Ishika, have you heard of NFTs? And the way you do your colors, your abstract, they are very refreshing. I think you can use them for NFTs. And I was like, what the hell is that? What are you talking about? And they are a couple, Baku, Dom and Steph. They are a couple, artist couple. So they literally sat with me and we discussed NFTs. How do you mint? And that time, minting on Foundation, you had to have invite. It was a very close knit community on Foundation that time. I'm talking about 2021. And they invited me on Foundation. They had one invitation left. They very kindly gifted it to me, and they helped me to mint, and I started my journey. Then and there, Foundation, my first Genesis piece up. Twitter, I'm slowly starting again, and Instagram is blooming slowly. So it was a wonderful time during 2021, Mazi. Yes, and the rest, kind of, part of the history now. I will discuss more, Mazi, but if you want to add something.
Yeah, I mean, you should. I have a in front of me. I have a like a, I am digital like, but I like to have a pen and paper in front of me, right? Because I know that some people are taking notes, digitally, and you have that remarkable device. I think it's called Remarkable, where you can, it's almost like the paper. But I like the feeling of, writing something down. And you should see my notes. I'm gonna take the picture after that, and I wanna I want to say a couple of things in regards to your journey. I mean, I have to say I personally I love abstract art because it's it's I see it as a connection with my life, which is all like you never know where you're going to end up. It's messy. It's like, and the more messy it is, the more clear I can see, right? And the abstract part is it's like it draws you away from the reality that can be pretty harsh on one hand, but on the other hand it directs you in the right direction that you actually need to go, right? So, and COVID time, I mean, I gotta tell you, if there was no COVID, I wouldn't be here right now, because pre-COVID Mazi was in a different line of work, and I was pretty messed up pre-COVID, and then at COVID time I decided I'm gonna, do something online, and bought a course about book publishing and all that. Published my book, and slowly I got to where I was. And one thing, I mean, like art is really helping. So you said you had, some bullies and bullying and trauma, and I have a feeling that art really helped you. I mean, of course, in the beginning for you it was like bullying because of the art, but they say that the right journey for you is the one that scares you the most. And I often ask myself, what is the purpose of me as Mazi, as a person? What is my journey, right? And uh, I think we all know, you get that feeling in your tummy, right? When that thing pops in your head, that's that right answer, right journey for you, and your tummy gets a little bit like irritated. That's the right journey. And with your art, maybe in the beginning it was bullying, but I feel like that now it's your salvation. Do I get that right? What do you think of that?
Absolutely. Right, Mazi. And I resonate with you there when you said without COVID, you wouldn't be here. Probably same case here with me. If COVID didn't happen and if my personal life didn't turn upside down overnight, probably I wouldn't be here. I would still be doing my teaching job and still be figuring out why there is a big void within me. What's the call? Where's the call coming from? So, yes, absolutely right. Art did help. Art worked as the healing. Um, with its healing power. And another thing, okay, Baku is here, Mazi. I was talking about Baku, right? So that's Baku. Um, and who brought me into NFTs? Baku, I was talking about you and our conversation from Instagram days. Um, so, Mazi, what I was saying, art did help me to find myself over and over again and again, maybe every single day, whenever I'm wondering, whenever I'm having the doubts, and whenever I feel like I need to speak up, there is something that's bothering me, um, and my colors become my voice. That's the only language I'm very good at, and also, art did another thing. Art brought me home. Finally, I have these like minded people. Can you imagine without them? I don't think I would be. I would be blooming at all. Like now I know I am healed. Now I know whatever I did, whatever little I did with my art, I feel like um, at the end of the day, I sleep happily knowing I did my best. And art is the only medium that helped me there. So, Mazi, you are absolutely spot on with the statement. Art does the healing thing very well, and it becomes the shelter.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, it can be different for a lot of people. For you, for example, is art, because that's obviously your journey, right? Because, like I said, you get a feeling in your stomach, in your tummy, that something uh, is scaring you, but it's the right path, right? It's the right path, but it has to be scary in the beginning, because you are getting out of your comfort zone. You are truly accepting accepting yourself, right, as the Ishika, as Mazi, right? And that's the uh, because I love to, I mean, I question myself daily. Okay, is this who I really am, right? I have, I have daily, I mean, I'm not gonna say struggles. Sometimes there are struggles because I can be a pain in the ass to myself, but it's a journey of discovering yourself, right? And ever since I got into this space, I feel like I have in this space, in this Web3 space, NFT space, art space. I feel I have the chance to truly be who I am. Right? I'm not gonna be judged, even though I don't care anymore if I'm going to be judged, and I think that's the right approach. Right? You don't want to be uh, like. Uh, uh, like inappropriate or anything like that. You're just yourself and you don't care what anybody thinks, right? You respect their opinions, but you don't care. You have your own journey and you know what's going to make you happy, satisfied, or whatever. And I wanted to share you, Ishika, I don't know what you think about that. If anyone wants to come on stage, they can share something about themselves, but you got to remember this is a space about Ishika, and you have to finish with a question for Ishika. So I don't know, Ishika, what do you think about this?
That's perfect. And I want to give a big shout out to some friends who joined here. My OG friends, actually, Mazi. Baku is here. Thank you for being here. I see Lily Nicole. She's amazing. And she's with me from my day one, Mazi. We used to sit together in Twitter spaces, and she used to support me a lot then because I was very nervous with my language, with my confidence. She helped me a lot and still doing that. Riyadh is there. He's amazing. Riyadh, thank you for your time. I see Kobe, Dev, Sketch. Yeah. And Kays as well down there. Paria, Zara, and some new faces. Thank you for supporting. Mazi, I wanted to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I also see some familiar faces, Sketchlight, Riyadh, and I see his faces from your community, Ishika. So we are very grateful, guys, that you are here. Please repost the room, and like Ishika said, come. You can request to speak. You can share your thoughts, but make sure to end with a question for Ishika because this is a space for her. She does a lot, for her community, but here at Endemic we decided that we need to bring her on stage, put her on the spotlight, so to say, and learn more about her. Ishika, I have one question. Do you do like physical art, or is it just digital?
Fantastic question, Mazi. I used to do only traditional art before, only physical pieces before. But after NFTs, actually, it didn't come straight away. Maybe after 1 year into NFTs, I was asked by many friends, did you think about digital, bringing your digital form of abstraction? And at that point, because I was kind of selling a lot as well, so I could afford. Um, Going buying some tools, learning some more about how to do digital. And then my daughter very kindly, she shared her iPad with me, like, mom, you can use mine. And we shared the same iPad still. She's very kind. So I was trying to figure like how to explore more with digital. So I'll be honest that the first few weeks with digital I felt a bit funny because it felt like a new language. You are learning a foreign language. But slowly, and I figured with the iPad pencil, I wasn't doing well. I left the pencil. I used my fingers, and because I love the touchy feely concept of making art. So, yes, um, and exact same brush stroke, but digitally. But I choose the acrylic set of brush, even on iPad, and the strokes are kind of similar, and it became my second child. If traditional art is my first child, digital art became my second child. And I'll be honest, now I cannot differentiate whom I love more. Like if you ask a mom, whom do you like more? They will struggle. Uh, Obviously, the first child is special. Traditional art is my home. But then digital art brought me higher because it opened up all the closed doors that wasn't possible before. Like I like happy accidents doing traditional art, but in digital art you can undo. That's magic, and I explored that a lot, and you can layer up things. And my recent fascination is Muzzy. I'm bringing the photos of my traditional art as the basic layers for my digital art, and then I'm putting more as added layers through iPad, through Procreate. So it's like a combination. I'm bringing more. And for me, if you ask me anytime, which one, traditional or digital? I would be saying they both complete me and I cannot choose now. I really can't choose.
Yeah, because my next question was like Web 3 versus Web 2 in regards like NFTs versus physical art, but you answered it already, and I think you answered it perfectly. It's the combination of both, right? Because I mean, digital just this is how I see it. Digital offers us, NFTs offers artists a new medium, right, to sell their art, to reach a wider audience, new possibilities, and I think we shouldn't be afraid of using the technology, right? We should educate ourselves to use technology, to use AI, to use whatever new technologies comes our way, but use it for good purposes, right? Anything can be bad if you use it for wrong purposes, and that's like my opinion there. And you answered it perfectly, right? The combination of both, you take the best pieces of each technologies, of each lifestyles, and you make the best out of it. I wanna say hi to my friend, my good friend Riyadh, and I know that he will have some thoughts and probably a great question for Ishika. Riyadh, how are you doing?
Hello, Mazi. Hello, Endemic. Ishika. I mean, Ishika, she's one of the best artists I have ever met over the NFTs. So, if you don't mind, guys, we need to highlight Ishika's story. So, maybe we can retweet the space and also we can share it with the community. So, this is will be just like a thanks for Ishika and for all of the amazing work and support she made it for the community all of this time. Ishika, I would love to ask you some questions. I mean, first of all, as an artist, what is your philosophy to do the art in the end? If you are doing an artwork, every artist he had a philosophy and he has a way to express himself. Do you focus on the value of the artwork? I mean, what's the idea, the research behind it? Or you are focusing on the technique or on the brushes? And both schools, they are famous in fine art, especially in traditional art. So there is some dilemmas about it. Second, I mean, many artists here, maybe they will have a question. I mean, when they are doing an artwork, they have a process to produce an artwork, a brainstorming for the artwork. So, as Ishika, when you are starting an artwork with all of your professional history, let's say, how do you start the artwork itself? Do you start by having an idea, a sketch, or something? I mean, the process that you do usually for art, how do you do it? And forgive me for the noise. Our neighbors, they are moving, so they are draining over the wall. So, Ishika, stage is yours.
What a great question, both of them, Riyadh. What's the reason? What's my why to make art? And then the process. So I'll go back to the question number one. Why do I do what I do? My art is the only voice, Riyadh, where I am without any filter. I'm not trying to be polite. I'm not trying to accept whatever is on my way. I'm trying to be myself, very raw and very authentic and honest, very honest. So if you see my colors, they don't wait for anyone's validation. They are weird in their own way, they're free, and they are that rawest part of me, um, coming straight from my heart. The reason why my art actually went through different phases. In my teenage years, when I was making my little art, those were just my color play. I was exploring colors. Anything and everything colorful attracted me. So I was just putting them on my little art books. And later on, when actually I grew up, I think I grew up, life happened, and art became that tunnel for resistance and activism. Whatever felt wrong, unfair, injustice, or felt like oppression, I wanted to break those chains through my colors. And it became a form of my expressing resistance. Um, and the other thing is a little funny later on, after some experience of being online, I understood that if there are some people not laughing at you or your plans or your dreams, you are not dreaming big. So anyone who is dreaming being big will be laughed at, will be labeled as a mad person. And that point, you have to understand you are doing something honest, authentic, and big. I learned it with experience. So I don't really like Mazi, what Mazi mentioned in his statement. He doesn't care whatever, people might have different opinions. Yes, we listen to them with respect, but we know where we belong, and we know what we are worth of. Self-worth, self-confidence, and self-respect. I respect myself, Riyadh. I can say it very proudly. I love whatever dream I'm carrying, because I know at the end of the day I am honest, and I'm doing things without any motive. There is nothing, no motive behind, and it's just genuine love for what I do. Whatever it is, wholehearted. Whatever is coming from me, whether it is my art, whether it is my spaces, whether it is me DMing you, it is wholehearted reply or response to my like-minded friends. So that's my reason why I do art, because nothing else makes sense. Art is the only voice and language. And then, Ria, the second question, my process. I never really plan an art piece. Like now, if I go upstairs in my little studio, I have a home studio, tiny space. So if I go up there and if I sit with an empty canvas, I would feel like it is very similar when I used to sit with a blank paper when I was writing poetry. There were so many ideas around, ideas buzzing. I was holding my pen and they were literally jumping through my pen. So when I sit with my empty canvas, I know some colors, I sit with all the colors, Riyadh. I never choose a color beforehand, like, okay, I will draw something red. No, it don't work like that. I will sit with the whole range of colors, and I transfer myself like it's a tunnel, as if I am going into my zone where nothing else will matter anymore. And I'll sit with the colors. Some colors will be screaming at me, like, pick me, and I'll pick them. I'll select them, maybe four or five. And then I will think what's next. I'll put one layer, and then I'll surrender myself to them, Riyadh. So as if I'm not making art, the art is controlling me, and it's a weird feeling. And I don't like any audience watching me when I'm painting, because I literally I'm my most vulnerable. My daughter, many times, she said to me later on, Mom, you become so grumpy when you are making art, Mom. You don't laugh, you because I am in I'm peeling off all the layers, and I'm going inside and within, back to my cocoon, to find out what mystery is there for me today. So, Riyadh, my abstract is very intuitive. I do not know what I'll be making this afternoon. If you ask me, I have no idea. And if you ask me where it will end, I have no idea. I keep making layers after layers until I feel I'm done, and the art piece will declare, I'm done here, Ishika. You can leave the canvas alone. And I leave them alone then. So it's a very weird and very wild experience of finding your own self. I know we do very different sort of art, Riyadh. I'm sure your process is absolutely different. But yes, however you are making art and whatever you are making, art sets us free. And we are actually blessed that we have this gift. Thank you for the questions, Riyadh.
Yeah, thank you very much, Riyadh, for the questions. And Ishika, I love the unpredictability part in your art, because I love that my life, and I try my life to be unpredictable. My wife maybe hates it a bit, because I'm super unpredictable, in a good way. In a good way, just to be clear. But I think the unpredictability is what makes it, fun. What makes it like a little bit challenging, and surprising. And I mean, I don't know a person who doesn't like surprises. I love to be surprised in a good way, right? Even surprise in a bad way can lead to be a good surprise, right? And I loved what you said. I mean, seriously, if you're not a little bit mocked, laughed, and if you are a bit hated but by some people, you can be sure that you are probably probably on a right journey, right? On your path. If you're a bit, just a little bit hated by some people, you must be doing something right, right? So I find that to be like the case in my experience. And Caseworks, hi. I'm gonna get to you later. I first have a question for Ishika, then we will go to you. So Ishika, we are coming to the part of this interview that we can talk about all day, and it is. I want to say it like this: Welcome to the marketing department, right? Because it's like you can anyone can say whatever they want, but without the marketing department, we are all doomed. So Ishika, I mean, I my main job actually in endemic is marketing department, and I really do my best to help artists get in front of the new audiences, new collectors. We like to do videos for artists who list something on endemic and all that good stuff. And since I published my book NFT School for Artists, I've been talking about three things: storytelling, personal branding, and community building. So, I mean, does an artist to be successful, whatever successful means, right? Does it mean to make a lot of money from art? Does it mean to get a recognition? Whatever successful means to one individual artist, does an artist have to be a marketer also? And how important is personal branding on that journey?
Fantastic question, Mazi. And obviously, at the end of the day, many of us, we are full time artists. This is the only thing I do. So I have to sell my art too to pay my bills, right? And how do you do that? How do you do that magical part where someone will believe in your art and will collect? So, in that case, obviously, personal branding or your network, as they say, your network is your net worth. It's all about who you know and where is your audience. You can't scream, you can't just force connection with wrong sort of audience who doesn't understand you or your art. So first of all, you need to find your audience. How do you do that? Research, a lot of patience. Mazi, the first thing I notice in NFT space or even in traditional art scene, lack of patience. Like we want to do it shortcut overnight. There's nothing like shortcut in this long journey we're doing. It's not a race, it's a long journey. I feel like my journey hasn't started yet, Masi. I'm still researching. Um, so I do a lot of research. I take my time, a lot of patience, and a lot of respect for others who are doing it right. I try to learn from them. If someone, some artist from your genre, is doing it nicely, selling a lot, great connection, try to research on them. I'm not saying stalk them, don't, but healthy research or ask them questions. How are you finding things? Some artists, they are very friendly. They will be happy to help you out. Some might not reply you back. There can be reasons. Maybe they are just busy. So don't give up too quick. Don't judge too quick. um, Knowing where do you want to see yourself maybe in a year time. Like I know this is funny and this is maybe very business like mindset, but I think having a little plan is healthy. Like where do I want to see myself in 2025, end of 2025? My focus is more shows. My focus is I want my art to be with wider audience. I'll try my very best how to do that. And of course more sales. But can you force a sale? You can't. Please do not fake friendship. Please do not fake love. Please do not fake brotherhood. These things don't work like that. Be genuine, be authentic, give yourself some time. So I never force a connection. And if I don't like your vibe, if I don't like your energy, you will notice that I'm not being fake there, faking the warmth. I'll be little quiet. I'll be little cold. And those people, they understand, okay, maybe we are not same vibe, and that's okay. You don't have to love everyone, Mazi, and they don't have to love you either. You know, things don't work like that. So I never fake it. I never force myself. And another thing is, I would never ask anyone to buy my NFT. If they like it, if they connect, I would appreciate discussion. If they have questions, let's talk. And my recent sales through this year, Mazi, every sale came from I was minting on request. So I was sharing my art on different social platforms, even on from a new app, Purple. I say Purple app, Warpcast. I got three sales, one of one NFT sale. How? A collector saw me there. I was very new, and he literally asked me, Very, very sweet of him. He literally asked me, Ishika, when are you minting these three pieces? Because I'm very much interested to collect. And then I said, which platform do you prefer? Let's talk. And obviously, I will mint them, because I'm glad that you liked them. And I got three sales. And before that and after that as well, I got DMs from interested collector that they, and I know those collectors, Mazi. It's not like, sometimes you have to be careful. There are also scammers DMing you. You have to be careful. Please do your research. Please check, are they really collecting? Check their collection. So obviously the collectors I'm talking about, they are huge names in the space. So I know them, everyone knows them. And I had some sales there. Did I force those sales? No, it was very organic. Literally, they asked me to mint. um, but what did I do right there? I kept sharing. Please keep sharing your art. Please keep talking about yourself. Please show them that you are genuine and you mean it. Please share your attendance in different shows, magazines. The more sincere and honest and serious you are for your art, the more audience will be interested to you. So it's a very mutual and organic sort of exploration I do with my marketing, Mazi. And also be visible in spaces help. No, I do not sell my pieces in my own spaces because I never talk about them. But what happens, the audience finds me as someone really serious with what she does. And they can see me, oh, she's here even after nearly 4 years, she's here, right? And I want to be here. I want to be here. I want to have you here as well with me in this journey. This is a long journey we are doing together. So yes, let's keep things honest and genuine. And as I always say, you can't force love, you can't fake love. And so goes with the art. Don't fake it, it will come. Mazi, thank you for the question.
Ishika, yeah, thank you for an amazing artist. First of all, I didn't know that you are a full-time artist, which is wow. You know, I love to meet people who are full-time artists. I think Riyadh is also a full-time artist, and I mean, there is not many full-time artists, I would say, and it's really, I mean, I think it's really brave, because art is hard, right? Being a full-time artist is really hard, but like you said, and you explained it pretty good, but you also touched on a subject that is really important to me. I wasn't sure if we are going to talk about it, because it's also like, I've gotten into serious discussions with some people about that. But I have to say, what I really hate in this art space, and I've seen a lot of artists doing it because they want to live off their art, is selling their art cheap. And I've been seeing it. I noticed this a lot happening in the space, and I talked to some of the artists, and I have a really strong opinion there. I'm going to share it, so you can share yours as well. I understand that you need money to make a living. I 100% understand that, right? But if I was in a situation where I create an artwork and I know that is worth much more than I'm putting it up for a sale, I would feel really, really bad about myself. And in that situation, I would rather get a job to pay my bills and price my art accordingly. So that's my personal opinion, and that's the way I see it here. What are your thoughts about that? Have you ever been in a situation where you need, where you know that your art is worth one eat, but you sell it for zero point 0.1 because you need the money. Have you ever been in that situation? Would you ever do something like that? And what's your opinion there?
So, fortunately enough, I haven't been in that situation yet. Masi, fingers crossed. And no one would like that situation, right? And I do not want to judge people who price their art depending on their own financial situation. You never know. Maybe they have hospital bills, maybe they have piled up other bills, maybe they have families to feed. I do not know what's going on behind their closed doors. So I can't judge their decision on pricing their art very low. But do I like it? No, I wouldn't like it for myself, and I don't like it for my friends either. Even in my space, they know, artists know. Like sometimes I tell them, oh wow, this is unbelievably underpriced. I do not know your reasoning for underpricing your art. You must have solid reason for that. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you are absolutely um, hopeless somewhere. What do I do? So I'm a full-time artist. I sell my traditional art as well. I'm working with some local galleries here. So that helps me with the bills. And also NFT wise, whatever I'm selling, that's like added bonus. For my journey, my first year into NFTs was wonderful. I was selling everywhere and I was collecting everywhere. I was giving back almost 60% that time, Mazi, because I was buzzing with excitement. And I thought this is a good life and this will go on. But it didn't go on like that. My second year became very tough. Not many sales. And I was like, oh my gosh, I spent a lot collecting because it was super fun then. Um, so I wasn't collecting as much as before because I had my lesson. And come on, at the end of the day, I'm just an artist. I'm not a collector. What am I doing? And my third year was absolutely rough. Hardly any sale. And obviously, when you have very few sales, you can't really have that mentality of collecting. How do you do that? You are struggling with your own bills. So that's the story. But still, my third year, when I was struggling with um, the finance side of things, did I underprice my art? No, I didn't. Because I know what they're worth and I'm happy to wait. I was working hard IRL with my traditional art. I was trying to focus more galleries, maybe more local shows so that I can sell my physical pieces and more resistance, and we know we are not greedy people here. We are very happy and satisfied when there is food on the table, there is roof under your over your head, and when your child is happy, you are happy. So I know how to live minimally as well. So in that way, I kept my art pieces exactly same price over the years. And another thing, Mazi, I have to mention here, I always say it in my spaces too. Whatever I'm minting, whether I minted my Genesis piece on Tezos one day, because Misan Harriman from Tezos Foundation, he was in my space and he was asking me, why you are not on Tezos, Ishika? Please mint today. And I minted that day and Misan collected. So that was my Genesis piece on Tezos Foundation. Did I mint my weaker piece on Tezos? No, I didn't. I minted the same quality art on Super Rare, on Tezos, on Solana, on ETH, because at the end of the day, they carry me. They carry my signature, right? When I won't be here, my granddaughter, great granddaughter, will be showing, hopefully, they will be talking about my art. I want that to happen. And I want them to be proud of their grandma's art, So please, whenever you are minting, whenever you are putting your art for the wider audience, make sure it's your best piece, whatever the platform. Don't disrespect your art, and don't disrespect your gift as an artist. So that's what I do. And I think it's also important to mention here. And the pricing, Mazi, it depends on your financial situation and how resistant you are. Do you have other ways to sort your bills? Then maybe you can be a little stubborn. And if you're struggling with finance, I'm no one to judge you for your prices. Mazi, thank you for the question.
Yeah, and I love your answer. I gotta say it's a better answer than my answer, right? Because I'm not judging to people that sell cheap. I don't want to get in their situation. I'm just so passionate about getting for their art what is worth. It's only the matter of that, right? And I might be a little bit too, like, maybe aggressive sometimes with my approach, but my I don't mean any anything bad, anything wrong. I mean the best, because I know it's worth much more. And but of course, if the situation is like that and you have to sell, I completely understand. I just I would I think it's better, maybe in my opinion, that you suffer maybe a bit more, that you work harder, and maybe uh, stuff like that, than your art, because your art is worth much more, your time is worth much more. And I guess you just have to be more patient, right? And I mean, when
Mazi,
yeah.
sorry, I have to add something quickly there, Mazi. I 100% agree with your point, because there are also the other set of artists who are rushing it, who are forcing it. They don't have any financial crisis going on. They could easily wait longer. They could easily work harder, and they could easily have some more resistance. If they are just being restless and rushing there, and then underpricing their art, I absolutely agree with your point there. Like, it's very wrong if you're doing it just to rush it.
Yeah, that's beautifully said, because it's like you said, yeah, people just like the feeling when they sell something, right? It's the adrenaline, right? It's the adrenaline part. And like you said, a lot of these artists are not even in a situation where they are hungry or not paying their bills. They're just excited for selling, and if they haven't sell for months, they will put it, they will lower the price. And I feel like art is not it's not like that you're selling a furniture or used laptop or something, and you then you're going to lower the price like $100, right? It's art, right? It can only appreciate in price, not depreciate. So yeah, I think we need to be aware of that. And I mean, since you are a full-time artist, and when I was writing the book, my book is actually a guide for someone who is an artist, more digital artist in this sense, and show that person how he or she can live of their art. And the book aligns a lot with the royalties part and stuff like that. But it's more like a guide for artists, how to achieve that dream of living from their art. But um, if you ever been an entrepreneur, or self-employed or something, or artists, you need to be aware that there will be, like you said, good times when you are buying art left and right, when you are collecting. But there will be times when when you don't have money to go eat out, when you don't have money to go eat whatever you desire. You are eating what you have, and that's that, right? So when you are self-employed entrepreneur, or anyone who is, you are working and earning money just by yourself, you have to be aware it's ups and downs all the way, and for that you gotta love the journey, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And I completely a little bit forgot about Caseworks. Caseworks, what up? What can you add to this? Do you have a question for our lovely Ishika? And hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Mazi. Don't worry about me. I was also enjoying the discussion, so there was no worry. There was no worry about that. Yeah, I just had to come up when I saw Riyadh posting about these interview. It was something that I just had to hop on. Yeah, Ishika is a wonderful artist and commentator on the arts. She was one of the our spaces were one of the go-to spaces that I usually went to when I first started. One thing that's really struck, I wanted to ask about art process, but has already been answered. Another thing I wanted to ask were the depth at which he analyzes the pieces is something that struck me because Ishika spends a lot of time on a space dissecting the pieces with so much depth and so much insight. So I usually wonder how how she does that. How does she go about it? It's usually so wonderful. Usually, her takes on the pieces are something that the artist might not even have considered, but uh, uh our insights are really penetrating. I always wanted to ask what has influenced will I say your thinking process or your worldview? Yeah, that's my question.
Fantastic question, Case. Thank you. Thank you for always being very kind. Yes, I do see you around. I do see your presence. Appreciate you a lot. When I'm doing my spaces, the first reason why I host Twitter spaces, as I mentioned many times before, I wanted to create an atmosphere that I was missing in my journey. When I was very new, I was shaking, I had questions, I had doubts. I wanted someone to hold my hand saying, "You will be fine. Just keep on dreaming." Did I find that person somewhere? I was struggling. Honestly, it was different, especially before NFT, especially before Twitter Spaces. Finding a friendly voice. Voice is a wonderful thing, right? Case, you can write beautiful paragraph talking about my art. I would love that. But when you say it through your voice, we connect more. It's soul to soul connection without any distraction. And it's very powerful. So I missed that big sister in my journey who I needed the most. So I wanted to be the big sister for maybe someone else who are still having lots of questions. So I started doing my little spaces to help answering, to help finding solutions. So that was the first reason. And then what happened? I figured when I look at art, when I read the description, the titles, the artist's voice, it's magic for my brain, Case. I love it. The days when I don't have much art on Twitter, maybe not many good spaces happening, I crave for more. I listen to art podcast, I listen to philosophy podcast, or I go out. I go to galleries. Going to galleries alone is the best thing ever for me. I love sitting with art pieces for hours and finding new meanings, new puzzles. It's something I do for myself. It's like I'm feeding my brain. My brain is always hungry, my mind, my soul. And so I do my spaces genuinely. And when I find an art piece, I feel like I'm reading the art case. All the clues are there. I really get excited, like James Bond, finding the puzzle pieces, solving it together. And sometimes the artists are like, "How did you see that, Ishika? I didn't mention about that. How did you find that?" I'm like, "Yes, I did it right." So it's something I do also for myself, but I know the feelings are mutual. Obviously, as artists, we love when someone else just sit with our art, just tell us what they loved about it. And the other reason, when I was doing these spaces at first, I was also um, had some criticism where people were saying, "Oh, she's too positive. Oh, she is too toxic positivism," something like that. And I asked them, okay, what's the problem of finding something good in everything? Because I believe everything we create or everything that's surrounding us, there is something nice in every little thing. Trust me. Even the bird poo, trust me. It is useful in some ways, it is needed in some ways. And do I find only positive thing with these art pieces? Are there things that could have been improved? Or are there things that I needed to tell them to improve? So if there are things that needed improvement, and if I can say it loud in public with the artist so that he or she doesn't get embarrassed, I do it. I try to be professional. I do it there. But if I feel like, no, this discussion need to be in DM, I DM them. I literally write their name down, and I point out the problem or what was there, and I DM them the criticism side, because I don't want to embarrass someone in front of 50 other people saying, "Oh my gosh, there are grammar mistakes in your description, please fix it," or, "Oh my gosh, this is that she might be very new, and she might be startled by that. You never know. um Making someone feeling broken and fragile is like a second away case. You can break someone very quickly with your words within a second, trust me. But to shape someone to be a powerful force within their journey is the hard part. Not many people do that. So I take my spaces seriously, and I try to be as much positive as I can. But also, there are some harsh criticism that needs to be done. I do it in DM, and they know. Those artists involved, they know, and they correct their mistakes. Many times, also, Mazi, there were scammers in my space, with scammers or with thieves stealing from someone's art. And that time we are direct. We are like, okay, you are stealing someone's art. You are not talking here. You are dropping down, never come back. And of course, we block them and we tell the community. We also research. Before doing that, we also research case. So please take time before judging someone too quick, and do your own little research, and let's keep it in a mutual way, in a healthy way, and try to be kind. Kindness doesn't cost anything, and that's true. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, Ishika, really, your answers are so rich, so powerful, so full of knowledge. And on your last point, I mean, you gotta be hard sometimes, right? You have to, being nice, being only nice is really close to being just naive. So you, of course, you have to be nice and treat people nicely, but you have to respect yourself and your time. So sometimes being harsh and honest is the best thing you can do for that person. So, and you were talking about educating yourself, and education part, I think it's really super important. And so, for example, for me personally, with pandemic and my own journey, just being on spaces, on different spaces, on Ishika spaces, on some random spaces that I just go into and listen, is you can do just that and educate yourself completely about everything that you have to know about this space and how to do things. So just being on spaces like this, right? Ishika shared so much knowledge here today, and it's recorded, so you can just listen to it again if you are just coming here. And if you just came here, please repost the room so we can get to more people. If you have to, if you want to ask something, you can ask in the comments, or you can come on stage, but there is a rule. If you come on stage, you can share something, and you have to end with a question for Ishika. So if you request to speak, make sure that you don't just ramble and take the stage, because this is a space about Ishika. She gives so much attention to the other artists and the people in this space. And here at Endemic, we decided that we need to give her attention. So, Ishika, talking about people in this space, another one of my actually favorite subjects, and what Web3 is about, is the community part. And I feel like, like I said before, I'm always talking about three things: storytelling, personal branding, and community building, in that order, I think. How powerful is the community part for an artist to be successful? What do you think?
It plays a major role, Mazi. If I talk about traditional art, it plays it does have um, very major role. But if I talk about NFTs and digital art, communities almost everything. That's like 90%. Because you get education here, you get inspiration here, you get your collectors in here, you learn, you evolve, you find your own mistakes, you discuss. Anything and everything is happening here. It's like university, right, Mazi? We are learning each and every single day with like-minded people within our community. And there is another thing: finding the right community that works for you, because not everyone is your cup of tea, and not everyone is actually trying to help you out. There are also other side of the stories. As I say, salt and sugar. There are salt and there are sugar. You have to find which one is for you and which one will help you. So to find the right tribe is very important. My first week into NFTs, I was trying to sort that. Like, where do I vibe more? Where do I find the right energy? There were very toxic people, very loud, very selfish. I'm being very open here. And they were going around spaces, bullying each other, shouting at each other. That was my first week. And I was nervous. I was like, what the hell is happening here? And since when we consider showing disrespect as being, very cool? It's not cool. Unkindness is never cool in no dictionary. Disrespect is disrespect in every language. And since when we are normalizing these things? So I thought, no, this is not the right energy here. I'm in the wrong place. So I never went back to their spaces. Are those people still here? Many of them left, Mazi. Many of those loud, um, very fake people, I don't see them much anymore. Maybe one person still there. And I don't interact with them. Luckily, we have mute button, block button, and you always can choose from options. Come on, you have options. If you go into a space where you feel cringe, you feel weird, and you feel unsafe, you feel like, oh my gosh, it is bringing me back those trauma when mom and dad used to have arguments, screaming at each other, and you are a little child scared, oh my gosh, they are fighting, So I literally had that feeling looking at their fight. online in spaces. I'm like, this is not the reason I am here, because real life has been harsh. Real life has been a big bully. I want a change, and I am in Web3 to find the change. Enough of gatekeepers. Come on, enough of gatekeepers. So I thought, no, let me find my tribe. Where are the people who are little softer, who are little more like me? Maybe I'm not saying I'm very soft person. I usually am, but I can be angry too. So I found them, Mazi. Slowly, after another week of searching, I found 5 or 6 people who are genuinely friendly, and you can sense like your gut feelings. I always trust my gut feelings, and most cases they are right. So I sat with them. I loved their vibe. Lily Nicole is down there. I found her in my first few weeks, of researching the right sort of vibe. I found her. Baku has been with me all the time before NFTs. They brought me into NFTs. So Baku is Baku. But there are some other voices I found friendly and home. And at one point, I was asking my friends, let's do our own spaces, can we? And they said, yes, let's do. So Adam Stewart, who is who was also there that time, but he's not active anymore into NFTs. He doesn't do spaces anymore. I used to co-host with Adam, Simab, Chacha, few names. They were very active there. And then Mazi, and very friendly and kind, very kind. So those were our regular spaces where when they say if you want to make a garden, be the gardener first and show them how to. So that was our attempt to make our own garden with kindness, with honesty, with resilience, and with knowledge, whatever knowledge we had. And there came that. So, Mazi, it's important. Community is everything here. And to find the right community is the key.
Well, I agree 1000% there, right? Because without community, without people, without people who support you without expecting anything back is the key to success, right? And I love the word tribe. I love the word tribe that you used, right? That's so powerful. Like that's like, is the right word, blood brothers? Maybe, that's tribe. That cult activation in the right way. It's so powerful, when you know that someone has your back, that whatever happens, you are there for each other, right? That is so powerful, and that is what this whole space is about, should be about. And like you said, I mean, scammers, they're not here right now, but they will be slowly coming back because the bull is here, is coming. So I'm expecting a lot of quick go-getters, right? That are here just for in and out, right? But we don't really care about those. Like you said, we just block them, and it will not affect our day to day. It will not affect our goal here. And we all have the common goal. We all want artists to be living from their art. That is the goal of the whole space here. And everyone is here helping each other, promoting each other, educating each other, learning from each other. And that is the vibe me personally and everyone at Endemic wants to spread here. Monimel, hi, so happy to meet you. I hope that you have a question for Ishika. And hi, how you doing?
I have. Hi, good morning. Good morning, Masi and Riyadh. Thank you for the space. Oh my gosh. This is a very important space. So, hi, Zika. How are you doing?
Hi,
Um,
Moni.
hi. Suddenly I miss friends that you mentioned. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this is so gorgeous. I love Ishika. She is, I don't know, it's beyond artist. Just she's a friend. She's a, I don't know, it's just family. You know, when I go to London, maybe, you know, if I can, I'm not meet, you know, Prince Catherine or Prince William, but I would love to um, contact Izika in there. But you know, I have a question. So actually, two. The first one is, what challenges that did you face early in your career, if you have, and how did you overcome them? It's because um, many artists, um, I believe they have. So, what's the challenges and how to overcome them? And the second one is, do you have like a mentor? Because I want to know who is the guy or who is the man behind you. You know, you're so great. I mean, it's not only just for art itself, but it's, as a personal, you're so great. I mean, I'm wondering who's the guy behind you, if any. So if there is anyone behind you, who is that? Just it.
Oh my gosh. Moni, first of all, lots of love for always being there. Another of my OG friend, Mazi, and she does a lot for her community, especially for Tezos and also for people who struggle with their language. She does a lot with her spaces and her presence, and her art is amazing. Um, and the questions, I love it, Moni. I want to go to your second question first. I loved it. Who is the mentor? Who is teaching me what to and how to? I think life has been the biggest of mentors for me. The mistakes I made taught me what not to do next time. And I am also grateful for the mistakes because without them, I wouldn't have the lessons. I'm also grateful for the heartbreak because without that, I wouldn't know I can be strong enough for myself. Um, and I told it many times to my husband. He's the love of my life, Pony. We are together since our high school days. But at one point, there was some hiccup and we were separated. And that was the time I was absolutely lost. I was heartbroken like crazy. I used to cry all the time. And that made my art coming out louder. That little heartbreak, I say little now, it wasn't little then. It shaped me a lot. And later on, I also thanked him. I'm like, thank you for leaving me then, because I wouldn't realize that I could be this lioness fighting with her own voice and art with my daughter. And obviously, whatever happened, it's a long story. I'm not going into my personal life story. But I'm also grateful for that, Moni. It also shaped me and my journey and my personality. I became a big empath. I became this big sister to whoever needed it, you know? And whoever is hurting, I have this extra sense in my brain. I literally feel triggered if I hear a hurt soul. I literally can feel if someone is hurting. I don't know how I do that. So all these became my mentor to be who I am. And then obviously my mom. I learned a lot from that amazing lady. Even this morning, I was talking to my mom. Every day, we have to have the talk, we have to have the chat. And she's amazing. She's very witty, very observant, and very wise, kind. So I'm learning a lot from my mom. And we are best friends. Art wise, obviously my dad also is a big pillar for me, because non-stop support whatever I was doing since my childhood time. My dad is my biggest fan since then. I know I wasn't making sense. I was just playing with my colors. Dad was so proud. Can I use your art for my poetry book cover? I am using your art for my poetry book. And not only his poetry books, but his friends' books. And they were literally boosting my spirit. No, Ishika, you are doing something nice. Please keep on doing that. So obviously, they all are the names behind my journey, Moni, coming from my parents, and then my love. My daughter plays a huge role, because it's like a team effort. Whatever I do, she's prouder than me. I know. Yeah, I'm getting emotional here. I shouldn't, right? Let's go back to your other question, so that I can be little less emotional. What was the other question, Moni? I forgot.
I like it, Isika. Um, so, what are challenges in your early, I mean, in your early career? How did you overcome them?
Yes, lots of challenges, not only with my early career, but also now. Um, so, knowing when to stop, Moni, knowing where to be braver, and knowing where to set your boundaries right, especially when you are a newcomer, and especially when you are a new artist. There will be some people trying to be your friend for their own benefits, knowing to say no when you need to, right? So I started learning that from my very early time. How to set boundaries properly, how to keep things professional, because I'm not here. It's not like a joke. Come on, this is my real life. I am a full time artist. And secondly, to be kinder to myself, Moni, I will be honest, I wasn't kind to myself then. I was literally doubting. I was literally telling myself off. I was literally saying rough words like, um, you are a fool. You are nonsense. You are doing things. What the hell is happening? I used to be really unkind. And then at one point, I thought, if I'm not supporting my own self, the self which is hurting, the self which is still confused and finding answers, who else will be? We are trying to, we are look for kind friends. Why can't you be the kind friend you are looking for? Why can't you be your own best friend? How many times did you pat on your back saying, well done, Moni? How many times did you celebrate the little win that no one knows of, only Moni knows? You know? So many times I wondered, okay, I need to love myself more. I need to say, well done, Ishika. Well done for doing whatever little you are doing. Um, so I started celebrating little wins, Moni. Actually, embracing and celebrating your little wins take you to your bigger ones, because that self confidence is so needed. Love yourself more. Forgive yourself for your past mistakes. Come on, whatever mistake Ishika was doing when she was 21 doesn't justify her now. She is a different soul now, and we change, we evolve. Give yourself that time to evolve, and please forgive yourself for the past mistakes that actually shaped you for who you are. Moni, thank you for the questions.
Thank you.
You did a many great job, Isika. By the way, thank you so much. I will stop driving the listener. Bye.
Thank you, Moni. You are so kind. You are so kind, and thank you, Ishika, for another great answer, great observation of yourself. And I hope you guys are listening here, because it's so powerful what Ishika is sharing here. And I knew that we had to put her on the spotlight and give her the mic to actually speak herself, her journey. So yeah, amazing, Ishika. So I mean, we are getting on the part of the interview where I have to ask you one tough question. So that tough question is, what is your favorite marketplace? Why do you have a favorite marketplace? Yeah, that's the question.
Very tough question, Mazi. Very tough. Why did you have to ask that? Okay. And amazing one, honestly, because a question that makes you feel a little uncomfortable, because it's a shame that um, no platform yet I found in the NFT space felt absolutely perfect. Some platforms where I felt absolutely invisible, zero support from the platform. Even at one point, I put up some art. I was looking a search through the search engine. Okay, let's see how my art looks. I couldn't even find it through the search engine. It didn't even come there. So strange. And then when you ask them what's happening, no reply. When you try to get in touch, no reply. So I felt like invisible. Horrible experience. And then some other platforms where you will find the same names over and over, again and again, in their front page, in their group shows, in their whatever initiative you are doing. Just 10 names, big names, 10 names. I'm like, where are the rest? There are also other people. They also do make their own list of artists to look up to, artists to search for, artists who are doing great. And again, the 10 names. I'm like, there are other people too. And where do you go then? So I tried to reach out, no reply. They don't even reply your DM. And you feel invisible. Excuse me. And then so I found Mazi. Web3 was the answer for me, where I hoped there will be no gatekeepers. I thought there will be more justice. I thought there will be more fairness. I thought there will be no difference between who is the OG and who is the newcomer. As a space host, I try to do that, treating people equally and fairly, no matter how many years I know you for, or no matter if you are the first one I'm talking to today. They all know they go through the same waiting time, they go through the same process, and I treat them as my equal friend. They both are my friend. But I wish platforms were doing that too. And imagine if I'm saying that after nearly 4 years of NFT, imagine a newcomer. They felt breathless. They feel helpless. And they DM me, Shika, what to do? How do you reach them? How do you approach? It's a shame, Mazi. I'm not saying any name here because I don't want to shame people. But no platform where I am in that I'm 100% happy with, where I didn't feel invisible, where I felt more gatekeepers, where I felt, do they see me? You know? And where I felt, I wish the platforms were doing more, because without us, you are nothing. And I know it is mutual. Without you, we also suffer. So, Mazi, I can't say any name to you because I don't have any name there.
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't expect for you to give me the names, but your answer is amazing. And um I think that platforms need artists more than artists actually need platforms. I think if all of the NFT platforms shut down today, artists would be actually fine, right? And NFT marketplaces, platforms, and people who work there and founders would actually be, let's say, in a really bad position. But and I feel you. I really feel you. Where artists are not really seen by the platforms, and that is I'm not coming from a corporate position or anything. I joined Endemic a couple of months ago, uh, and I joined them because I felt the same energy. Right, I have my own brand still. It's a it's a community NFT school for artists. It's a book, and that book opened up a doors for me. I got to where I am completely by myself. You know, I was a speaker at the NFT NYC, and to be honest, I was looking for an opportunity that could help me to spread my word to a lot more people, right? And that's why I joined the Endemic, because we share the same passion. And Stipe is not here right now. Stipe Plech is the founder and CEO, and we share the same passion. We have the same goal. We take the approach where everybody wins, right? I'm not. You guys don't know me here. I'm not the guy who is just looking to feed my own mouth. I mean, I really want to build. I'm more passionate about building a image around myself, that I'm the guy who can help you get things done, that I'm the guy who can really help you in a way, rather than just making money, right? Because money comes and goes, right? But I'm really passionate about building that image around myself, that I can really help someone achieve their dreams. And that's what I'm most passionate about. And that's what I'm pouring into Endemic. And that's how I work with artists who I'm onboarding on Endemic, right? And that's the approach that we in marketing department of Endemic are taking right now, because I feel it's more personalized approach. Of course, it's more work, because I'm trying to talk to each artist individually who approaches me, right? Who asks, who approaches Endemic account on or my account. I'm really trying to, you know, whenever an artist joined and lists something on Endemic, I will make sure I will DM you, and I will ask you for some photos and videos and some bio about you. I will create a reel for you. We will publish it on Endemic. We will, you know, if necessary, we will put you on our banner. And we are really trying, and me personally, I'm pouring myself 100% here, my energy, to really build a platform for artists, from artists, where you can, like you said, there is no perfect solution, right? But we are looking for a solution where you feel like at home, right? Where you can ask question without being judged, where you can, you know, share your ideas without being judged. And of course, in the end, like you said, sales, right? We all want sales, but our way of attracting artists and collectors is really a human, personalized touch, where you know, where you are not just making sales, you're making friends in the community, right? So yeah, when I asked you the question, favorite marketplace, I didn't expect for you to answer what's the favorite marketplace. I expected the exact answer you gave, and it's amazing. I have a lot more questions. I mean, but some of them were answered. Is there like I mean, I don't I don't think there is point of talking how important social media is, but maybe we can touch on that, even though we are talking about it all the time. I mean, I know that artists struggle of creating content and being active on social media, and I was always trying to look for a way, me personally and through endemic, where we can help artists to, I mean, just produce the content or something. Because I mean, of course you can outsource some of the work, but when you outsource it to, for example, an agency or an individual that will run your social media, it loses it loses your touch, it loses your personality, right? So I don't think there is like a perfect solution here, except you doing the work on social media and you actually falling in love with social media because it's your own media. Like Elon Musk says now, you are the media. Your X account is the media. So, uh, what do you have to say? I guess my question is, what do you have to say for the artists who are struggling who are struggling with using the social media, and in the same time they know that they will not sell anything if they don't use the social media? What's your thought there? Do you have any advice there?
I think social media is very important, especially for Web3, because obviously, without, in my case, without Twitter or X, I wouldn't be able to find this audience. 99% of my collectors are on Twitter. They are regularly witnessing my journey. They are regularly checking what I'm doing next, um, keeping me in their loop, my updates. They're interested to know if I'm still serious with whatever I'm doing. It's important to stay serious with your dreams. And social media provides it provides a huge opportunity. Whatever you have, whatever app you are using, I use Twitter or X for sharing my art quite regularly. I do my GM tweets, and I also get asked, like, why do you still do GM? Especially, Mazi, a year back probably, when things were very quiet here, people were literally leaving. I was still doing my spaces, I was still doing my GM tweets, and they were asking me, why, Ishika? Why do you still do it? I'm like, this is a way of waking up properly. If I say good morning to my daughter, I also write a tweet here, good morning, GM, with my art. It's like saying good morning to the family. I do it really from my heart because we literally have conversation here. Like, Mariam, how's your health today? Or Moni, how's your son today? It's like our proper conversation. And keeping your connection with the right people um, proper. And the other thing with social media, integrity. Sometimes we choose what's easy. We choose what's fun for the day. We choose what comes fast. Like, as our parents used to say, easy comes, easy goes. You know, what's the point? Do things with proper purpose, and knowing the purpose. Don't just talk about values, practice the values, show them that you mean. Um, in social media, it's very important to keep the balance right, Mazi, because there are also fakeness everywhere, right? Give yourself time. I keep saying, like, if you have doubt about something or someone, give them time. Give them a week, a month. The falseness will fall apart and you will see the real picture. They will say something and that will ring the bell. Oh my gosh, or they will DM you something and you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's his or her real face. So where things are very easy and fast here, choose your own integrity, courage over comfort. More courage, please. um, and sharing wisely, Mazi. Another thing on social media, keeping private things private, because you never know who is watching where. Knowing the full responsibility, and take your full responsibility. If you did something wrong, rather than blaming the whole world, take the ownership of the mistake, saying, I did the thing wrong. It's okay to say sorry, normalize saying sorry. So, yes, it's a huge thing for me in my own life, because I use my Twitter or X, my LinkedIn, as literally my workplace. This is literally like my office. And I'm updating my LinkedIn regular basis, because I also have serious collectors sitting there watching me. I also have networks from other events or organizations, and they're interested to know what am I doing next, right? So take things little seriously. If you are trying to also add fun, do it with full responsibility. For my personal stories, I use Instagram story. I feel kind of less uncomfortable sharing a snippet of my personal life, that the gallery I was visiting, the picnic I was doing, maybe I was doing gardening. I'm sharing my garden just on Instagram story. So I choose different social media platform, as I treat them differently. They have their own sort of audience, but knowing the boundary is the most important thing here.
Thank you, Ishika, for that great answer. And I want to touch on the importance of a GM. So it might seem to some people that, like, why do you GM? Why do you always do that? It's like you said. I mean, whenever I go out of my apartment and I see a neighbor, I say good morning, right? And why wouldn't I say good morning on X, on a place where I spend a lot of time? So it's kind of rude if you don't do it. On the other hand, uh, if you GM, your post will probably get a lot more attention than your other posts, because obviously algorithm pushes it, because a lot of people GM. And so I think if you are an artist, if you are in this space, and even if you are not in this space, if you're just a person using X for some other businesses, GM could open a lot of doors. GM can do wonders. And so never forget to GM any day of the week. I think it's really, uh, really important. And yeah, it could bring you. I mean, GMs brought me a lot of new followers. A lot of new people, a lot of new open doors possibilities. So you can. I mean, seriously, on X, you can grow your account and your community just by doing GMs regularly. With some nice photo or whatever, and you can grow your brand, whatever, with GMs. So never underestimate the power of a good GM, right? So yeah, I think that's pretty important. And like you said, social media, it's also an office for me. And by the way, don't underestimate LinkedIn. A lot of people, I mean, I also prefer more like video platforms or X or something, but LinkedIn is like, I mean, serious collectors are there, serious people are there, you know. So you can really, I mean, and be mindful that it's a really different platform from X. You can post everything and anything on X, but on LinkedIn, be professional, right? be professional, be really mindful, uh, and if you're not on LinkedIn as an artist, I think you should go there and share your best work there, right? Talk about yourself more in a business wise, but I've seen people talking about on LinkedIn also about personal stuff. So it's a really great platform, and the algorithm is actually pretty good. I also I don't post there regularly, but I've seen when I post a lot more engagement than I expected. So yeah, great advice, Ishika, mentioning LinkedIn. And I wanted to, so I know that you collect, maybe not as much as you used to, but you are a collector. From collector's point of view, um, is there any is there something specific that you're looking for when collecting? Maybe you answered this already, but I think it's really important for artists to hear, to get a collector's perspective. Is there something specific that you're looking for, or what are your when buying something, what are some specific things that you're looking in art, or there is not?
Another beautiful question, Mazi. I don't see myself as a collector because I was giving back some percentage from my own sales that time when I was selling a lot. So on my foundation, you'll see a lot of one-on-one from 2021 or 2022 time. And then on my object collection, after having my Genesis piece being collected by Tezos Foundation, I gave back 60% there. And you will see a lot of art because Tezos is amazing. The variety is incredible. When I'm collecting, I'm always very subconsciously, I think it happens. I find things that I can't make myself. I think that happens with artists collecting. In my collection you won't find many abstract because I don't know why that happens. I would rather collect figurative, collage, 3D art, animation. Maybe because subconsciously I'm thinking, this is fascinating and I can't make such stuff. So that's my way of collecting mainly. But then again, maybe in few spaces it used to happen. Someone came and the story, the personality, and the art all did the bridging between me and the artist, and I couldn't help myself but collecting. So that happened few times too. And occasionally it happened that I just wanted to support the artist. I knew their personal story, I just wanted to support. And that was kind of desperate as well then. So I collected. So there are few reasons, Mazi, why when I was collecting, my why. But I think it's different for each and every individual because we are very unique. But that's my side of things.
Oh, okay, nice, nice. So, and would you collect from someone who you don't know, never met, but you just like the art, or the personal story is really important to you?
So many times, Mazi, I collected or I retweeted or I even spoke about the art without knowing the artist at all. The other day I was sharing two artists in my space. I have never spoke to them. I don't even have any clue about their story, but their art spoke to me and I needed to share. And collecting wise as well, I collected few, I won't say few, quite a lot of art from absolutely unknown artists. I had no clue who they are. And later on, they DM'd me saying thanks, and we spoke later on and I found out, oh my gosh, they are amazing individuals. So yes, there are many sides of the story. And even with my art, what happened, yes, in recent years I'm minting on request, but before that, especially on foundation, it happened. Many collectors, they collected my art. They didn't know me personally. They maybe they were not even on Twitter, but they collected the art from foundation. Then somehow it resonated with them. But it's kind of rare. It happens rarely. Listening to an artist and hearing their side of the story makes a lot of sense when it comes to collection.
Yeah, I agree. I agree there 100%. And thank you for sharing your thoughts, guys. If you are just joining late, we are having an interview with Ishika. She's an amazing artist and individual who is giving a lot to the community, and this is our way to give back to her by telling her story here on stage with Endemic, myself, and you in the audience. If you have a question for it, Ishika, feel free to come on stage and ask it. Kobe, sorry for taking so long. I forgot a little bit. So welcome. Happy to know you. And do you have a question for Ishika?
Thank you, Mazi. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. A good evening from Sri Lanka. So it's been heavily raining. Uh, uh, I'm loving this space. I love Ishika. I can say one of her, like one of her. I'm a one of her disciple. So quite. Uh, she's a very, very good soul. I don't want to label. Um, it's very rare to find people like you know they don't care about their self, and they care about art and giving, and you know uh, not sales, but she's doing is more than a sale or more than a money. It's a very big thing to the humanity, and what she's doing here is awakening people, giving confidence, triggering their soul to do whatever they like to do. So that's how I met her like 2 years ago, and I'm still, I admire her from the beginning. I still admire her, and I will. So I just wanted to say her, thank you so much for being here, existing uh, as a great soul, as an amazing person. So she's more than a friend. Uh, so she's a guru to me. So I love you so much. I just want to say that there is no question. I just wanted to tell her, not no. Uh, she's very close to my heart. So I just came here to tell her I love her. I love her art. Thank you so much, Mazi.
And same here, Kobe. I do love you and your art, and also the confidence. The way you grew. Mazi, I know Kobe from his very early days into NFTs. He's very humble. He was very shy before. He wasn't really talking much in spaces. We used to literally pull him up, and I used to give him all the time he needed to share. And he shared a lot slowly in our spaces, from personal story to art story. And he's incredible, very versatile. Kobe, I'm very proud of who you are becoming slowly with art. And those kind words, every word you said, it touched my heart because I know it's coming from your soul, and I know you mean it. And this is the another reason, Mazi, you spoke about the importance of having the right community and how they can shape you. You just need few right people with you, just few who believe in you, and see how you bloom. See how you change and grow. That happened to me. That happened to Kobe, Moni, many of us. So, yes, big hugs, Kobe. And I really hope everything is going great on your side. And we'll speak soon. Thank you for the words.